Hello everyone, welcome. How's it going? It's Tamsy Fae. If you're new here, welcome. If you've subscribed already, you may want to join this video. Anyways, I'm going to be talking about myself and my path and why I've chosen to do tarot and how I do tarot and my own views on tarot and how I use the cards and all that sort of thing. I did do one when I first started this channel about 2 years ago, and in October it's going to be 3 years, so that is exciting. Thank you everyone who has been following me so far and continuously supporting me during my live streams and all that sort of thing. I appreciate you all so much. And for any new viewers, I welcome you to watch this video so you can get to know me and my practice and the way I read tarot and that sort of thing. And you can also join my live streams where I do free readings. Sometimes the free reading list gets full quite quickly since I do have the super chats. You can skip the wait list. I will also be talking about Nightbot and how I use him and why I use him and all that sort of thing. Nightbot is just a robot, but yeah, this is going to be the video, so if you want to stay and watch, I appreciate you. So first I'll start off with who is Tamsy Fae, right? Who am I? I'm just this weirdo that shows up on YouTube. Yes, I know. I've been told a lot of times that I'm not a real tarot reader, and a lot of people who are new and come to my channel for the first time often seem frustrated or I don't know, everyone has their own opinions, which is understandable, right? You don't know me and you don't know why I do things because I don't do things the way other tarot readers do. I have learned tarot on my own when I was a teenager. I was about 16, I think, 15, 16. I started tarot. It's kind of a funny story with that too. But that's how I got into tarot, is that I was 15, I think I was 15. Anyways, I was young, I was 14, 15, 16, around that age, I don't know. I had a friend, and I know hanging out with her and all that stuff like friends do, right? But she had an older brother, and I was very interested in this older brother. He like really piqued my interest at that time. And not that he was into me or anything, he was much older. But he was into Dungeons and Dragons, and he was all about dragons and mythical things, and that really piqued my interest, you know, more than like a high school love thing going on. Even though it was like that, but it wasn't really like that, if you know what I mean. I wasn't really interested in that. I was interested in things that he did. So I'd always sit there and watch him play his Dungeons and Dragon games, and you know, tease him about when he would dress up and do the cosplay thing. Like, this was a long time ago, and all of this stuff was new to me back then. So I was that little annoying teenage girl knowing him all the time, and you know, my friend would get irritated because I wasn't, you know, doing the girl things with her, right? But before all of this, I think what interests me with this boy, why I'm bringing him up, is because he did buy me my first tarot deck and said that I was a witch. I argued that I wasn't, but after he left and moved to a different city to continue his CEGEP, it's kind of like high school, university in Quebec, you know, left me with my tarot cards, and that is how I got interested in tarot. But before all this, my grandfather, or actually my great-grandfather, I called him Pappy, his family, he was born in Canada, but his family was from Ireland, and they came with some really strong Celtic beliefs, and I didn't realize that's what they were until I was much older. I thought I was being raised Catholic because we often went to Catholic school. I was a Catholic Sunday school teacher myself, and I did Sunday school every weekend as a child, and I was very influenced in that way, but I was also very influenced with my family and how they took, you know, traditional things and did our celebrations a little bit different than other Christians or Catholic people. I'm saying that right? I know I'm weird. I have a bad choice of words. A little bit differently. I didn't realize that till I was much older, and started digging deeper into doing my family ancestry and learning more about that. But my pappy was very adamant about this forest behind his home and how we had to respect the animals and the mushrooms and all the sort of things in there. And he's the one that taught me about the Fae, and if you watch animals long enough, you have an idea about what they're thinking and what they're doing and what they're trying to say. He even had a pet raccoon that lived in his home. He was free to go. He was not like locked in the house or anything. He stayed in the back room, which the door was always open for him to come and go all season, even in the winter. but he chose to stick around for whatever reason. This raccoon. Yeah, so that's about me, and now I want to go into the tarot. Yeah, for me, I learned tarot. I have learned to like the basic Rider-Waite meanings, and there's so many more readings to go by with, but I've spent a lot of time studying the original Rider-Waite deck and their meanings. But I've also learned how to search up a lot of those words, because a lot of the words that are in the original Rider-Waite kind of like are not really, I don't really tend to use words like that in general speaking, so I kind of like moderate some of the words and some of the meanings to more modern type words and beliefs and sort of thing like that. Like I am no psychologist or anything like that. I am just very much a spiritual mystic being. I'm a spiritualist. I can connect with the spirits. I am not a medium, which is very confusing because I'm not a medium, I am not a psychic. Those are different things than being a spiritualist, and you can be a spiritualist and a psychic and a medium. You can be all those things at once. That is not me. I am extremely intuitive. I am very in tune with myself and the things that are around me. I can hear and see spirits when they choose to present themselves to me. I mostly sense them and can feel what they're feeling. So generally when I'm speaking to someone about what their spirits are saying to them, it's not so much that I am saying words. Sometimes I do hear them say words and I will say those words. It's mostly sensing how they're feeling, and especially when I use tarot, if I pull a card and it's like you can just feel that that is not the card they intended to come out, or if there's one that doesn't seem important to what I'm trying to say, this feeling, it's hard to explain, but it gets a lot stronger when yes, this is the card. And sometimes when I get to the right card and say the right thing, they just disappear, and a lot of viewers or people I am reading for want to hear more, but the more is gone, and it's really hard to explain, and it's really hard for me to just make something up, because that is not something that I am good at. I know that's when they teach you tarot, you know, like think quickly, think of how to continue on the conversation. That is why all my readings are not all the same length. Even when I do a private reading or when I do a live reading, some people get a lot of cards and some people only get 3, but that is when the messages, once the message comes through, I feel like the energy just is gone. It's no longer with me, and I don't want to pretend that it is. I just want it to be real, and I feel like in the last couple of streams for the last few months, I feel like I've been really pushed to do that, because I feel like people expect me to be like the other tarot readers, and all the other tarot readers are different. You know, maybe they are able to hold on to this energy longer than I can. You know, like, you know, there's much more experienced readers out there, and everyone is intuitive differently. We all feel things differently. And I just want to continue my channel with being me and how I do things. And I just want to be as honest as I can. I'm not into this pretending to be someone that I'm not. I've tried it, and I feel like that is just making things harder on myself, and I think losing some of the authentic viewers I had originally when I was being myself and doing the things my way, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I would love feedback. That is how I learn on feedback. If it's positive or negative or whatever that is, you know, is the way that people in general grow, and I don't take offense to anything. Yeah. I know I say a lot. Sorry. But, yeah, so the way I do that is what I do is I read the cards, I read each card differently as opposed all together, because I feel like sometimes just because all the cards are together doesn't mean that they're necessarily telling the same story. Like I said, I'm not a storyteller. I'm not making up things to satisfy this person watching. I know in the last couple of lives I've been trying to do that just because I feel like that is what people expect from me, but that is not something I am able to do. And I need to know my own boundaries, right? And I need to know where I want this channel to go and how I want to grow. So I'm just going to be me. I have ADHD really badly, so I don't have a filter. So if something wants to come out, it's going to come out. I'm apologizing ahead of time, I guess. I hope it doesn't offend anyone. I don't mean to by any means. I say what comes to mind, and I really don't have a good filter on that. Yeah, so that is me. I think there's something else I wanted to talk to you about. So I wanted to talk to you about my live streams and Nightbot. Nightbot, like I said, is not a real person, but it does keep me focused. Like I said, I do have ADHD. So with that, the Nightbot really helps me know who is next on the list. And I know it can get confusing because, like I said, Nightbot is a robot, and that if two people try to join the list at the same time, one of those people may be missed. And sometimes multiple people try to join the list at the same time, and obviously Nightbot just chooses the one that gets through. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the first person who tried to join. So then you have to keep trying to join again. I understand that that is probably really frustrating, but it does keep the live stream moving smoothly so that I can get through as many readings as possible. I know there's a lot of people who know my channel well, which is fine, you know. Once you get to know it too, you'll be one of those where you have your question ready and you just try to join multiple times with the same one. We'll eventually get through. Just because Nightbot does say that the list is full doesn't mean it's full for the whole night. It's just limits the amount of people so Nightbot gets less confused and there's less problems with reopening the list and allowing more people to join. Also, my max for my live streams is only 2 hours, and then after that, my energy, my focus, my attention, everything is gone. So that is why I only do 2 hours. I have been staying longer on my lives past the 2 hours for donated readings. If you do want to donate for a reading afterwards, I am going to be moving more into members. And if you want to be a member, what that means is that I will have members only Mondays. So members Mondays will be a live stream where I can answer your questions in more details just for the members. So there'll be no free list. So the list should be shorter and I'll have more time and more focus to do those longer readings. You'll also have some other benefits, like maybe getting some videos before everybody else, or just videos that are just meant for members. So it'll be more focused on whoever my members are, those videos, and things that we have talked about in our chat and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, then memberships will become available soon. I'm not sure when, but yeah, that is something I want to say. And I'll go back to the video because I forgot to add this in. I want to talk to you about also like a lot of the things that some people talk about. And I don't really do angel readings. It's something I do want to learn how to work with angels. I have learned how to work with the Fae, and Fae and angels are very similar, but also very different. Like all mythical beings, whatever they are are all entities. But I have a lot of respect for angels and a lot of like I was raised in a Catholic church, and I do believe that there is angels and spirits. I know there are spirits. I connect more with the spirit world than like the angels and the Fae. Fae are very tricky, so they only come out when they want to be seen. They don't always. I can kind of call upon the Fae sometimes, but a lot of times they are not like spirits. Spirits are more willing to talk. They like to be heard, and sometimes spirits are just people who have passed on, right? So if they don't know you, they don't have much to say about you, no matter how much you ask them. And some spirits, they will travel when they know that you are trying to connect with me, or you are trying to listen to this, and some will come forward and definitely give a message to that one person. But I want to be honest and not make something up that, if I don't hear your father giving you a message, I want to be able to tell you that it may be a spirit, but it may not be him exactly. It may be just some random person that wants to give you advice that may not know you. Just to be open and honest with that. But yeah, I want to talk more about like the words and boundaries and intuition and intuitive and all that sort of thing, because I've done some workshops about intuition, and a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people, especially who are teaching this workshop and stuff, are a little worrisome about telling someone to trust their intuition, because sometimes intuition is a hard thing to know. You have to know yourself, and you have to know your own boundaries and your own strength, and that is why I wanted to make this video, because I do have boundaries and I want to focus more on what my strengths are and make those a little bit better for you guys, for me, and everyone else, and yeah, so your intuition is more about intuition is more about that inner self, that feeling that you have inside yourself. It's not something that you can think of. When you have this gut feeling, you don't know what it is, and sometimes your mind will try to, I must be feeling this because I was late paying that bill and I must be stressed about that. But that is putting your mind into your intuition. So it's like listening to your intuition without trying to make a logic of it can be a little confusing. And some people struggle with it. It does take a lot of practice. I won't lie, it's not easy. I was blessed with having people in my life who allowed me to have that energy of just, it doesn't feel right, and you just go with that and not having to put a label on things. Yeah. So it's not, I feel like listening to your intuition is not really something that is easy to teach someone to do. I feel like it's just something you learn on your own, and it's something that is very sacred and different to every person. Yeah, and your intuition is more like when people, I think, describe that gut feeling, and it's in your gut that it doesn't feel right. It may not be exactly what you think it is, and sometimes if you do what you think it is and it's still there, then then that's not what it was, right? That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it does somewhat. Yeah, the other thing is boundaries, and boundaries, like I said, it's knowing yourself and knowing yourself completely, and knowing what you can handle, what you can manage mentally, and all this sort of thing. It's not like something that you can put up with. Having boundaries is not what you can tolerate. What you can put up with is what your body needs for you to be you, and not change or alter yourself in any way. Sometimes you do have to change yourself. You can't always be the way you want to be, and like when you go to work, they expect you to be a certain way for your job. Like things like that. You have to know when to put on that mask, when to blend in with everyone else, and what you need to be yourself, and where you need to be yourself. So boundaries is mostly when you need that time, like I'm saying right now, about just being myself and not trying to be like any other YouTuber or any other person who does tarot. I know there's a lot of people who have studied all the different kinds of tarot and all those sorts of things. I just do the Irish Celtic spiritualism. I use Irish Celtic symbols when I'm doing my readings. I do use numerology, but just basic numerology. Is nothing associated with the Kabbalah or any of that sort of thing. I don't really go into any of the Buddhism or anything from Egypt or anything like that. Not that I have anything against that. I support every religion. That is not me. That is not something I have studied. That is not something I am interested in studying either. I have my own beliefs, and I'm comfortable with the beliefs that I have and the way I was raised. And I feel like that is important too. And I feel like that what does make you a good tarot reader is being true to yourself, being true to your beliefs, and doing what you know. If you went to school to be a nurse for delivering babies, a lot about being a nurse, all that sort of thing, but then stopping that and then being a nurse to something that is completely different can be a little challenging, because you want to go back to what you know, and sometimes, what I mean, it's more difficult. So that's what I want to talk to you about, was that the intuition and the boundaries, and knowing the difference about those two things for yourself, not just for me. I want to do more about some spiritual growth and more about people. It's harder to interact with other people, and it's harder for other people to interact with you when you're not 100% steady on your own 2 feet, so to speak, and I feel like that is what I want my channel to be about, helping people find their own spirituality, helping them connect with their own self, and recognizing their own boundaries and their own strengths. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just because you have a weakness in one area doesn't mean that you can't have strength in another area that makes you, right? If everyone was the same, if we were all robots, it would be all really boring, right? No one wants to be boring. And there's nothing wrong with being a little weird, a little different, right? That's what makes the world fun. So I'm just going to embrace my mystic, weird self, and I hope you want to continue watching my channel and following me in this journey. I'm going to explore more things. I thought about doing more vlogs if anyone's interested in maybe showing a little bit of witchcraft and some sort of thing like that. How to harvest your herbs from your garden to use in your cooking, and what those herbs can do for yourself, healing wise, not really healing wise, but spiritualized, healing yourself spiritually, if that makes any sense, not like anything medical. Yeah, so feeding your soul, healing your soul is the most important thing, because if you don't heal your soul, then it's harder to heal your physical self, right? So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you join my soul family by subscribing and giving me a thumbs up. That really helps my channel grow, helps you to see the channel. And subscribing and subscribing doesn't really help you get notified. I know a lot of people keep saying that, but that is not how YouTube works. I think if you unsubscribe and subscribe again, you may get notified a lot less because of the first interaction. The robots are slow. You know, robots, clicking on a button is a lot of technical things. Yeah, the only reason I know that is because my partner is an IT and tech person. So just because you do one thing doesn't mean that, yeah. It's not YouTube, it's how the tech stuff works, unfortunately. But that's all I wanted to say, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope, yeah, you join my soul family, and I'll see you live next time. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever it is for you. Bye!